This is Andy Purewell for Boxing News, joined by Adam Smith here in London. Adam, hope you're well. How's life treating you?
I'm good, Andy. Thank you. Thank you for asking. I'm back around. I'm healthy. I'm doing lots of different things. I'm enjoying myself, and the family are all well. So yeah, and the boxing world rolls on. I mean, after today, we've got 8.5 weeks, haven't we, to the big one, and plenty in between. Jack Catterall at the weekend, up to see my old mate Eddie in Manchester, and looking forward to that one. So yeah, the boxing business is flying, and I'm sure you're keeping very busy.
Always busy, Adam. An interesting comment which I've asked a few people about, which Tyson mentioned on stage. It was 4 years ago since he felt like he last went into a fight where he was the underdog, which was a rematch with Deontay Wilder. Do you see that? Do you see a difference in his mentality, knowing that he's now an underdog?
I do. A lot of people said to me, "Oh, what will we get from Tyson Fury today? The old circus?" And I said, "No, I think he'll be very serious. I think he'll be very focused. I think he'll be very honest." And he was all of that. He was exactly as I thought he'd be. And remember, I've been next to him when he's been Batman, and crazy things happened with the David Haye press conference the fight that never materialised. But Tyson could be a loose cannon, but he's also a boxing historian. He's a very proud man, and he knows deep down he lost that fight, and he's got to try and right the wrong. So. Yeah, I'm really pleased to see him that way today. Alexander was, as ever, focused and, yeah, good little entrance. Enjoyed that with the briefcase. Otherwise, it'd have been an extremely dull press conference, wouldn't it? So I'm glad we had that. But it's a serious fight. It's the best against the best. It was a great fight last time around. And you're right. Many years since the Deontay Wilder second fight. I flew out there, I watched it with Freddie Cunningham and Frank Smith. We were sitting in the MGM, and I thought it was one of the best performances from any British fighter under pressure, and the manner of victory over Wilder in the second fight was absolutely superb. He's got the Kronk team around him. I think he'll be aggressive this time. I think they'll learn from what went wrong last time, and I think it will be a more improved Tyson Fury. The problem is, he's up against Alexander Usyk, who's the wizard, and the man who's got an answer to everything. So it's going to be an absolute firecracker. I really do. I think it's going to be every bit as good as the first fight. I think he's got a lot to prove, especially when you've got a loss on the record and you are the underdog. Bit between your teeth. Really want to prove the public that you're the man still, the Gypsy King. There would have been a little dent in that confidence after May. So yeah, it's good to see him looking fired up and ready for his training camp. And they've got 8 hard weeks ahead of them, both teams. And I'm really looking forward to the week in Riyadh in December.
Adam, Alexander in that first fight was the more of an aggressor of the two of them. He was on the front foot more than what Tyson was. Would you expect to see him follow suit and to do something similar, or do you expect to see him change things up going into this rematch? Do you think in his own mind he might think, I've got Tyson's number?
It's really interesting, actually, what Usyk's going to do, because Fury's probably going to shake it up a little bit and try and get that jab going harder. The uppercuts, everything that worked between rounds 4 and 7 for him, he'll want that. I spoke to Sugar Hill earlier, and he's like, just don't get caught. It's all going well. Round 7, round 8, he's thinking, put the guy away. And then, of course, round 9 happened, and that might have a big impact on this fight. Can Usyk hurt Fury again? That's the other thing. And if Fury's going to go for it early, and will he leave enough gas in the tank for the second half if Usyk survives the storm? I mean, it's a really, really puzzling fight, this. I think, who's Usyk going to spar with this time? He's put out and ready to fight. Who are going to come over? Who are Tyson Fury-esque? Who's Fury going to use? He had the cut last time. That troubled him a little bit in preparation. Now he's got 8-9 clear weeks. Sparring's going to be very, very important, and they've both got to be crisp and sharp. And I think the first 2 or 3 rounds of the fight are so important, Andy, because last time Usyk, like he did against Joshua in that first fight, he did something in that first round that just confused things. He just made Fury miss a little bit, made Fury a little bit lackadaisical. He chased him around the corners, he pinned him, he feinted a lot, and I think he got a really good start to the fight. I think Fury's going to have that sort of start this time around, because I think it could get tough down the stretch because of Usyk's conditioning. Or they're going to go for bust and try and knock Alexander Usyk out and utilise that weight and the size advantage. But it didn't work last time. So yeah, there's a lot to work out for Team Fury with Sugar Hill and Andy Lee, and obviously Team Usyk as it's elite boxing, and we saw with Beterbiev, it's fine margins. You know, was it Bivol? Was it Beterbiev? I like Bivol. Other people like Beterbiev. The judges like Beterbiev. I thought the wrong guy went home with the treasure, but I thought the right guy went home with the treasure in May. Who's going to get it in December, Andy?
Well, I'm just saying, I also had Bivol, but that didn't seem to go down too well on social media. Yeah, sticking with...
Bivol won the fight. I thought the better boxer. I thought Beterbiev stole some of the rounds with good work right at the end of sessions just to catch the eye of the judges. But for me, boxing's about the art of hit and not get hit. And I thought Bivol's feet and his class, and I thought his defence. I thought it was close. I thought Beterbiev definitely won rounds. I wouldn't have argued too much if it had been a draw, but I think the wrong guy went home with the belts.
Sticking with the theme of Usyk and Fury, when you look at it from Tyson Fury's perspective, he's not somebody who has allowed pressure to get on top of him in the past. Do you feel like this is different mode because somewhat going into the rematch, there's a fair few people who just think it's going to be a repeat, it's going to be Usyk coming out on top. He's being written off by a few quarters now.
I think he's been written off by some people. I think quite a lot of fighters, or certainly people in the trade that I've spoken to, think Fury wins this time. It's a bit like Bivol Beterbiev. Who wins the next one? It's so close at this sort of level. And what I love, just talking to Tyson, is the respect that he has for Alexander Usyk, not just as a family man and what he stands for and what he's done for Ukraine, but also as a fighter. They've shared the ring. They've done the 12 rounds. We haven't. We haven't been in there with either of them. They have. They know how good the other one is. And I expect more of the same. I expect another very tough, hard 12-round fight. Could it sway one way or the other? Of course, it's heavyweight boxing. Could Fury get a knockdown this time? Could Fury get a stoppage? Could Usyk even get a stoppage? Or, as most people think, will it go the distance? And which way will the judges feel? I think it's close. It's a close one to call. I think probably the majority will go with Usyk just because he won the first fight. But Fury has got so many advantages too. I think one thing that could come into play is Fury's legs. What is still left there with Tyson Fury? Is he as good as he once was? Can he be as good again? We had the Wilder trilogy, tough, hard fights. And yes, Usyk had a couple of tough ones with Joshua and he fought Dubois, but they weren't like the Wilder trilogy. That was a hard 3 fights for both of them. We've seen it with Deontay and for Tyson as well. Then he had the Ngannou fight and the Usyk fight. Okay, he had Chisora, but Chisora 3. He had the Usyk fight and he was in big trouble in the Usyk fight. But he got through. He's got a huge heart. He's got great skills. How are the legs? That's what I asked Sugar Hill. How are Tyson's legs? I'd love to go and see him in camp and just have a little look and see. He says they're brilliant. He says they're still as good as ever. And if they are, he could win this fight. But it's only a could.
Adam, I appreciate your time. Enjoy the rest of your night, and I'm sure I'll catch up with you in Manchester for Catch Your Programme.
I look forward to it. Be a good fight. Cheers, Andy.
Thank you, Adam.